Have you ever visited a friend or family member with the best intentions, only to leave feeling a bit awkward and unsure if you may have crossed a line? Perhaps you found yourself questioning whether your well-meaning visits are doing more harm than good. If you're in your 60s or older, it's particularly crucial to be aware of how, when, and why you visit others as we journey through our golden years. While a friendly visit may appear harmless at first glance, sometimes what we perceive as a simple act of goodwill can lead to unexpected complications. Unintentionally causing discomfort or straining relationships can happen more easily than one might think. In this video, we will delve into 4 types of individuals you might want to think twice about visiting after turning 60. What may seem like an innocent drop-in could inadvertently lead to tension, miscommunication, or even resentment. By the end of this video, you will be equipped with the tools to foster healthier, more respectful connections with your loved ones, ensuring that your relationship stays strong and mutually fulfilling. We will also discuss the vital importance of respecting personal space. Exploring how excessive visits can lead to unintended consequences, along with strategies to safeguard your own boundaries and those of loved ones, is essential. Stay with me as we delve into avoiding the typical traps that can jeopardize your friendships and family connections, while uncovering effective methods to express your care without overstepping. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to click that subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming content. Your support is invaluable, and if you found this video enjoyable, I would greatly appreciate your support in spreading these valuable lessons by liking and sharing them with others. If today's video resonates with you, please type 1 in the comments. If not, feel free to type 0 so I can understand how to enhance these videos for you. Now, let's delve into the first point, avoiding visits to old friends' houses. As we journey through life and strengthen the bonds that shape our relationships, one truth stands out: the significance of respecting each other's personal space. As time passes, we come to understand that even the strongest friendships necessitate a careful equilibrium between intimacy and personal boundaries. We may have shared countless moments of joy and provided solace during tough times, yet this does not negate the truth that everyone requires their own space. One of the most straightforward yet vital ways to honor a friend's need for space is by avoiding unexpected visits to their home. While it may appear innocent, or even considerate, to arrive uninvited, it can disrupt that essential balance. It's important to give your friend a heads up, especially after all the moments you've shared over the years. Surely, your bond is resilient enough to handle a surprise visit. However, the reality is that regardless of the length of your friendship, everyone deserves their own space and personal time. While an unannounced visit might feel like a display of intimacy, it can also come off as an unwelcome disruption in someone's routine. A quick phone call or text beforehand may appear to be a minor act, but it truly signifies respect and consideration for their time. Time and space hold equal importance to the yearning for reconnection. Consider this for a moment. How does it feel when someone appears unannounced at your door, even if you cherish them and have shared years together? It can be quite overwhelming. The issue isn't the individual or their intentions, but rather the interruption of your rhythm. Perhaps you're engrossed in a significant task, navigating personal challenges, or simply enjoying a peaceful moment alone. An unexpected visit can disrupt your emotional balance, leaving you unsettled. Feeling either obligated to entertain or guilty for not wanting to socialize can be quite challenging. We often find ourselves torn between not wanting to disappoint our friends and the necessity of safeguarding our mental and emotional well-being. This is where a simple phone call or text beforehand can make a significant difference. It allows both individuals to prepare for the interaction, ensuring that everyone is in the right mindset. Additionally, it alleviates the pressure that can arise from the feeling of intruding into someone's space. A phone call serves as an invitation rather than a demand. It embodies a gesture of respect. It conveys the desire to connect while ensuring it aligns with your availability. In a fast-paced world, this simple act of consideration can be pivotal in nurturing a healthy and flourishing relationship. I've come to understand that honoring boundaries in this manner transcends mere politeness. It reflects empathy and maturity within our friendships. Life is intricate, and as we age, people grow, change, and evolve. As we navigate our lives, we increasingly recognize our own needs, one of which is the essential desire for tranquility, solitude, and personal space. This isn't about distancing ourselves from friends. Instead, it's about fostering an environment where everyone feels appreciated and at ease. In an era where life often feels burdensome, and each individual grapples with their own stresses and obligations, it's crucial to acknowledge that our friends may not always possess the emotional bandwidth to engage or host. This understanding reflects a profound respect for their well-being. Take, for instance, the narrative of Jennifer and Kate, two women who have. For over 30 years, they cultivated a profound and enduring friendship, standing by each other through life's ups and downs. They celebrated milestones, offered comfort in times of loss, and navigated the complexities of existence together. However, as time passed, both Jennifer and Kate became increasingly busy. Jennifer, in particular, thought that unexpected visits would help them reconnect, not realizing that this approach no longer suited their relationship. One afternoon, she arrived at Kate's house unannounced. Calling ahead, expecting a casual and spontaneous visit, Jennifer arrived to find Kate deeply engrossed in an important project. Kate's mind was far from ready for socializing. While she always welcomed Jennifer with open arms, today she felt flustered and rushed, unable to fully engage in the visit. Jennifer, sensing the tension, felt a wave of awkwardness, as if she had intruded on Kate's life. Despite the good intentions behind the visit, both women left feeling a bit off balance, the experience lingering uncomfortably between them. Jennifer contemplated the situation and recognized how much more favorable it would have been had she reached out in advance. From that moment on, she vowed to honor Kate's time by sending a text or making a call before visiting. It wasn't about creating distance, it was about ensuring they were both in the right mental and emotional space for a pleasant gathering. Now, they convene at their beloved cafe, a neutral setting where neither feels burdened by the daily grind. They can converse, reminisce, and relish each other's presence. Their friendship has flourished through a simple yet profound change in their approach to spending time together, allowing them to coexist without interrupting each other's routines. If you're still engaged with this video and find these insights valuable, please comment one below to show your presence. This method of honoring boundaries signifies not a diminishing friendship, but rather its evolution and maturity. It recognizes that both individuals have distinct lives to lead. It's perfectly fine, allowing each other the freedom to be ourselves fosters the growth of our friendships. This practice embodies kindness, understanding, and trust. By honoring a friend's need for space, we demonstrate our respect for them, just as we hope they will respect our own boundaries. As we mature, the desire for privacy and personal time tends to become more significant. It's not a matter of being withdrawn, rather, it's about conserving our energy and utilizing it thoughtfully. We become increasingly aware of the value of. In solitude and reflection, we discover the true value of peace. It's not about shunning others or retreating into isolation, rather, it's about treasuring those moments of solitude that allow us to recharge and contemplate. When we engage with others, it should be with purpose and intention. Take a moment to consider your friendships and your approach to them. Respecting boundaries is a profound expression of love, demonstrating your deep care for the other person's comfort, mental space, and emotional well-being. The next time you consider the value of reaching out before visiting. A quick call or text can truly enhance the experience, allowing both parties to prepare for a meaningful interaction without the stress of unexpected interruptions. The most memorable moments with friends often occur when both individuals are genuinely ready, with open hearts and minds for conversation. It's all about the quality of time spent together, ensuring that each encounter is authentic and enjoyable for everyone involved. It's wise to be mindful of visiting others' homes without prior notice. When it comes to visiting family, there's a natural inclination to think that time spent together will inherently deepen our bonds. Family frequently occupies a prime spot in our minds when considering those who should be integral to our lives, particularly as we age. The notion that increased interactions with our relatives will lead to greater closeness feels straightforward and inviting, doesn't it? The idea of frequent visits conjures up visions of warmth, connection, and the solace of being among those who truly understand us. After all, these are the individuals. Those who have stood by you through life's highs and lows certainly suggest that more time together leads to a stronger connection. At first glance, this notion appears entirely reasonable. Who wouldn't desire to share more moments with family, creating memories and enhancing existing bonds? Yet, as time progresses, we begin to understand that this very act of spending excessive time with family can occasionally yield the contrary outcome. What initially feels like a source of comfort may gradually transform into a weight as we navigate the complexities of aging and life itself. Change is inevitable, and so are the dynamics of our relationships. Sometimes, an excess of positivity can lead to emotional fatigue and unforeseen outcomes. The more we strive for constant closeness, the greater the risk of overwhelming those we cherish, often without our awareness. I've discovered that while family holds great significance, personal space is equally crucial. It's essential to honor not only our own boundaries but also those of our loved ones. Space isn't about creating distance from those we care for, it's about providing them with the freedom they need. The importance of having space to thrive and to embrace life on one's own terms, while also valuing the moments shared together as precious rather than obligatory. It's about recognizing that love can manifest in gentle gestures, perhaps a simple text, a phone call, or a serene moment of recognition from a distance. This idea resonated deeply with me when I learned about Paul, a 64-year-old man who had recently retired after years of dedicated labor. His narrative resonated with me, as I found reflections of my own journey within his experiences. Paul had constructed his existence around his work. His identity was intertwined with his career, achievements, and standing. However, upon retirement, he encountered a crossroads, uncertain about how to navigate the abundance of free time. The bustling, fast-paced life he once led had vanished, leaving him unprepared for the stillness of retirement. For the first time, he felt adrift, unsure of how to occupy his days or even what his purpose was now that the demands of his job no longer occupied his time. Paul had always taken pride in his family connections. He believed that retirement would be the perfect time to reconnect with old friends and family. He wanted to feel the warmth of companionship again, to re-establish those bonds that had been put on hold during his years of work. And so one afternoon, with a box of homemade cookies in hand, he decided to visit an old friend, Richard, who had retired a few years before. Paul was someone he had known for many years. They had shared countless memories and had been close during the time they worked together in the same industry. Paul thought that a visit would not only bring a little cheer to Richard but also give him the chance to rekindle an old friendship. It felt like the right thing to do. No agenda, no expectations, just two old friends catching up after years of silence. But when Paul arrived at Richard's house, he was taken aback by what he sensed. Richard and his wife Mary greeted him with politeness, but there was something about their expressions that unsettled him. Instead of the warm embrace he had imagined, there was a slight tension lingered in the air as Paul attempted to alleviate the discomfort by offering cookies. Richard, with a chuckle that failed to reach his eyes, noted how their lives had quieted since retirement, almost as if they were apologizing for their newfound, more subdued lifestyle. He joked about their lack of power or influence, a comment Paul tried to laugh off. Yet, despite his efforts to reassure them that he was there simply to visit, something felt amiss in the atmosphere. Unease didn't fade, it only seemed to grow stronger. The conversation that followed was a strange mix of awkwardness and forced cheer. Paul, sensing the uncomfortable shift in energy, attempted to engage in small talk, but it felt hollow. There was no spark of connection, no warmth of the familiar bond they once shared. The tea they shared felt lukewarm, and the silence between words grew heavier with every passing minute. Paul began to realize that his visit, which he had intended as a simple gesture of love, was now causing more harm than good. The glimmer in Richard's eyes and the coolness in Mary's courteous yet detached replies revealed that what was meant to be a moment of reconnection had devolved into a mere obligation, a task for all parties involved. As Mary finally escorted Paul out, her smile was tight, and her farewell was courteous yet rushed. As Paul departed from their home, an unsettling sensation lingered, suggesting he had overstayed his welcome. The interaction, which had once held the promise of warmth, had instead left him feeling depleted and ashamed. In the aftermath, Paul came to understand that his good intentions had inadvertently pushed the boundaries of their relationship. In his eagerness to reconnect, he hadn't recognized the importance of giving Richard and Mary their space. They were in a different stage of life now, one where they had cultivated a peaceful, quiet routine, and his sudden appearance had disrupted that balance. This experience taught Paul a valuable lesson. It was not about how often he visited or how much he tried to give, but about respecting the needs of others. Family isn't just about proximity. It's about recognizing the moments to grant others their space and the times to let them navigate their lives free from the weight of perpetual proximity. Sometimes, expressing affection involves stepping back, embracing the quiet, and having faith that the connection will endure even without frequent affirmation. Genuine love doesn't hinge on incessant gatherings. It's about discerning when to be present and when to withdraw, letting relationships blossom organically, not out of obligation, but because they are founded on shared respect and comprehension. Ultimately, Paul's visit. It wasn't a failure but a pivotal moment in grasping the evolution of relationships. Love doesn't always mirror the way it appeared in our youth, and sometimes the most profound expression of love is recognizing when to release. As we age, nurturing our own space becomes essential, allowing those we cherish the liberty to pursue their lives without the pressure to perpetually engage or adjust for us. This embodies a lesson in the subtle strength of respect, the comprehension of relationships' natural cadence, and the importance of trust. Love has a way of enduring, even in the gaps between visits. There's a unique comfort found in the idea of family, particularly among siblings. From an early age, we learn that family is eternal and that those connections are meant to be unbreakable. The memories forged together, the shared experiences, the inside jokes, and the deep understanding that arises from growing up in the same home all seem to weave a bond that should last a lifetime. It's the kind of relationship that is meant to endure. Through thick and thin, a constant source of support and love, yet as time passes, the inevitable changes of life creep in, and those once unbreakable bonds can begin to feel fragile. Even in the most loving families, it's a truth we often resist. The way things used to be, those family gatherings, those moments of closeness, may not always remain. In the end, sometimes it's better to step back and recognize when the time has come to respect each other's space. Take, for example, the Martin family, a group of 5 siblings, each well over 50 years. Now aged, each bearing the burden of decades filled with shared memories, they epitomized familial closeness. Their parents' home stood as the central hub, a sanctuary where holidays blossomed with warmth, laughter echoed around a table laden with good food, and every Sunday effortlessly united them all. The Martins lived in a manner that many would envy, tight-knit, supportive, and brimming with joy. They understood one another's hearts, hopes, and fears, embodying a beauty that was truly remarkable. The simplicity of it all brings a sense of security, knowing that no matter what happened in the outside world, there was always a family to return to. Within that home, memories were created that felt as though they could never fade. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know you are still here with me. However, as we all know, life changes. It's inevitable. As the years passed and their parents grew older, something began to shift in the dynamics of the family, leading to the inevitable. The loss of their parents marked the end of an era. The center that had once united them was no more. The house that served as their family gathering place, the home where comfort was found, had ceased to be a sanctuary for their reunions. As the Martins embarked on their individual journeys, they began to sense the quiet yet profound pull of distance. Each was now focused on their own families, their responsibilities, their separate lives. It became increasingly difficult to come together. The frequency of their family gatherings started to decline, and what was once a constant presence in their lives became an occasional event. The once lively and bustling family dinners slowly became fewer and further between. The change was so gradual that it was hard to pinpoint exactly when it started. At first there was just a missed gathering here and there, a reason that seemed legitimate: work, health issues, family events of their own. But then, before they knew it, the visits and calls that had once been so regular became distant memories. The connection that had once been so automatic began to feel like a distant echo of something that had faded away. One day, a close family friend, someone who had been woven into the Martins' lives for many years, inquired of Greg, the eldest sibling, why the family no longer convened as frequently. Greg, who had always taken the reins during family gatherings, the one who had been the glue binding them all, replied with a cold, almost indifferent tone, "We only gathered because our parents were there. Now, it doesn't make sense to get together. If I have time, I'd rather spend it with my own family." Initially, that response might come across as severe, even startling. It could leave you feeling unsettled and reconsidering everything you believed about familial ties. Yet, as difficult as it is to acknowledge, there exists a stark reality in Greg's words, a reality that numerous families encounter as time passes. The bond that once unified everyone, typically the parents, often diminishes. The elements that once made the family feel like an unbreakable entity, those cherished traditions, the impromptu gatherings, the collective moments of happiness, start to wane, and that connection begins to unravel. Gradually overshadowed by the intricacies of adulthood. As we age, our lives become laden with responsibilities and expectations that diminish the intimacy we once enjoyed. It is a painful realization that priorities shift, children mature, families transform, and individuals evolve. What once appeared effortless, sharing a meal, connecting with siblings, staying in touch, now feels increasingly challenging to uphold. The reality is that we all undergo change, our lives, our passions, our aspirations, and even our modes of connection. Relating to one another shifts over time. It's easy to assume that the closeness you've always shared with your siblings will persist as you age, but the truth is that nothing in life remains unchanged. People grow apart, and relationships evolve. This isn't inherently negative, it's simply part of life's journey. As adults, we each create our own spaces in the world, and sometimes those spaces become less intertwined than they once were. The family dynamic that once felt effortless now demands more intention and effort. Recognizing and honoring each other's boundaries is essential. The notion of visiting siblings without a particular reason or invitation can occasionally create unease. This isn't a reflection of a lack of love or respect, rather, it's a consequence of life's inevitable changes, which can disrupt our usual rhythms. It's important to acknowledge that not everyone is in the same space emotionally or mentally. Arriving unannounced or without a defined purpose can inadvertently heighten tension in an already sensitive context. There may be unexpressed emotions of resentment or pressure, particularly if a sibling feels perpetually obligated to host or manage these sentiments. Though often concealed, these feelings can gradually erode the bond between siblings. It is essential to learn the art of letting go, not as a sign of surrendering the relationship, but as an acknowledgement of the space necessary for personal growth. Recognizing when to take a step back and granting each other the freedom to flourish in our individual lives is vital. The affection shared between siblings remains intact, even when visits become infrequent. Often, it transforms the bond that was once crafted in shared moments into something richer and more profound. It evolves into a love that embodies maturity, one that values the independence and space of each person while still cherishing the connection nurtured over the years. We must recognize that in any relationship, especially with family, the essence lies not in how often we meet, but in the depth of our connection. At times, this requires allowing one another the freedom to breathe, to develop, and to thrive. We must independently release the notion that love is validated by constant interaction and embrace the idea that sometimes the most profound way to express love is through respect and understanding of each other's journeys. While visits may become less frequent, love need not diminish. It merely transforms into a new expression that, though different, can remain just as powerful and meaningful. Additionally, one should consider avoiding the homes of those who are overly tidy. Visiting someone's home transcends mere social interaction. It is an act of understanding, an unspoken connection. When you enter someone's home, it's not merely a physical act, it's an intimate journey into the essence of their life, their history, and their individuality. As we age, we develop a heightened sensitivity to our environments, becoming attuned to the energy and tranquility that arise from spaces we've thoughtfully shaped to meet our needs. With time, our homes transform into sacred sanctuaries, serving as extensions of ourselves, embodying peace and order. And cleanliness of these spaces are not merely preferences, they transform into vital components of our well-being. It is no wonder that as we age, we grow more protective of our homes, the sanctuaries where we can escape the tumult of the outside world. Ryan exemplifies this sentiment, taking immense pride in his living space. He is meticulous, perhaps even excessively so, about its upkeep. For him, a clean and orderly home transcends aesthetics. It is about cultivating an atmosphere that exudes harmony and tranquility. Every item holds its. Every corner and surface is immaculate. Stepping into his home feels akin to entering a meticulously curated museum. It's not an impersonal experience, but rather one where every detail is deliberate, contributing to a cohesive whole. This environment mirrors his personality, revealing his desire for control and his pursuit of an orderly, predictable, and serene existence. It serves as his personal sanctuary. While some may perceive his commitment to cleanliness and order as an obsession, for Ryan, it runs far deeper. More than mere tidiness, it's about cultivating a sense of mastery over his surroundings, something profoundly significant to him, particularly as he ages. Ryan has faced numerous challenges, and his home has consistently served as a sanctuary, a retreat where he can rejuvenate and regain a semblance of control over his life, if only fleetingly. Thus, when his space is disrupted, it transcends the physical clutter. It's the emotional upheaval that truly unsettles him. The carefully crafted world he has built feels fragmented, and that emotional upheaval is the source of his true distress. One day, Amanda, Ryan's cousin, dropped by his house unexpectedly. Amanda had always embraced spontaneity, often disregarding the need for structure. Her visit, though well-intentioned, lacked planning. She needed to borrow some money in hope to find Ryan at home for a quick favor. While Ryan had always been generous and eager to assist his family, this time, the situation would unfold differently when Amanda arrived. She rushed through the space, her carelessness evident as she flitted about, perhaps too at ease in Ryan's home. Without a second thought, she made her way to the bathroom, inadvertently knocking over a bottle of lotion. The small spill went largely unnoticed by others, but to Ryan, it felt like a disruption in the sanctity of his surroundings. Initially, he dismissed it, but as the moment replayed in his mind, a familiar irritation began to settle in. It wasn't merely the spill that bothered him, it was the underlying implications of it. Represented a profound misunderstanding or disregard for the care and attention he had devoted to his sanctuary. In that fleeting moment, it seemed as though Amanda had crossed the invisible lines of his personal domain. For Ryan, his home transcended mere shelter. It embodied his inner tranquility, a testament to the energy he poured into crafting a safe and harmonious environment. The disorder was not merely a physical inconvenience, it symbolized a disturbance of the serenity he had diligently cultivated. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the end, Ryan made the difficult decision not to lend any of the money she needed. While this choice might seem cold or heartless to those who don't understand the emotional weight of the situation, it made perfect sense to Ryan. It wasn't about the money, it was about something far deeper. It was about respecting his boundaries and his need for order in his environment. Ryan later explained that while he would never deny helping a family member, he couldn't ignore the disregard for his home. For him, a simple act of kindness like lending money couldn't compensate for the emotional weight of his space. His home was a sanctuary, a place deserving of care and respect, not marred by careless actions. Ryan's reaction may appear extreme to some, even petty, given that the mess was minor and merely a bathroom spill. Yet, that underscores the essence of the matter. Sometimes, it's not about the incident itself, but the emotional significance that accompanies it. Ryan's reaction underscores a profound reality that many, whether they acknowledge it or not, cherish deeply. Our homes transcend mere physical spaces, they embody our identities, our boundaries, and our quest for harmony in a chaotic world. When someone enters our sanctuary without consideration for our efforts, it feels like an invasion, not just of our physical space, but of our very essence. Ryan's experience serves as a poignant reminder of the significance of honoring others' homes. It illustrates that even a visit, regardless of intentions, can sometimes feel like an unwelcome intrusion. If we overlook the influence we might exert on another's emotional terrain, for those who value order and cleanliness, it transcends mere tidiness. It embodies the preservation of peace, a personal haven that remains untainted by external turmoil. As we age, that tranquility grows increasingly invaluable. It evolves from a mere preference into a necessity. When we step into someone else's home, we must recognize that we are entering their realm, their sanctuary, and with that, we should approach with the humility to respect their space. Boundaries are crucial, as even a minor disruption can lead to significant consequences that often go unnoticed. It's tempting to view Ryan's actions as excessively particular, yet this reflects an emotional truth that many individuals, especially those who cherish order and cleanliness, navigate daily. Therefore, during your next visit to someone, particularly to those who take immense pride in their living environment, approach the situation with mindfulness. It transcends mere respect for their belongings. It's about honoring the core of their identity and the emotional landscape they inhabit. Constructed around the idea that a small act of thoughtfulness can yield significant returns, you may discover that your respectful gesture fosters a profound connection with another individual, one that transcends any tangible exchange. As we conclude today's discourse, I trust this narrative has prompted you to contemplate the significance of honoring personal boundaries and the deeper implications of upholding harmony within our living spaces. Each of us navigates life in our unique ways, yet we all share a common desire for tranquility and solace in the environments we cherish. Cleanliness and the value of a serene retreat highlight the emotional importance of a person's home, which is essential for fostering deeper, more respectful connections. Now, I invite you to share your insights from today's video. Is there a new approach you'll adopt when visiting someone else's home, or perhaps in how you regard your own space? I would love to hear your reflections. Please share one takeaway that you plan to implement in your life by commenting below this video. If you enjoyed this content, kindly leave a. We would love for you to comment and remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support truly means everything to us, and we are excited to keep sharing more insights with you. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.